I want to show you something. Secret Service knew something was up. In fact, they knew something was up so much that they had their eyes on this kid. Take a look at this picture. They got this picture 40 minutes before he fired his shot. Almost an hour before he shot the former president. I suspect our next president. The sniper identified gunman acting suspiciously, checking his cell phone and a range fire at rally when they took the photo, according to Daily Mail. This is the photo. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, we thank you for that. If you're watching on YouTube, we thank you for that. Or Facebook, make sure if you're here on YouTube, subscribe to the show, like the show, share the show. It all matters. It's very, very important right now. But this is pretty unbelievable. So they knew he was there. So why didn't they do anything? Why didn't they arrest him? Why didn't they take him out when he had his gun pointed? I mean, these are kind of obvious questions, ladies and gentlemen. These are things that you would do, would you not? I mean, you don't even have to go through special training for any of this. They had their eye on this guy. And yet what unfolded and resulted in the death of an innocent individual and 2 others critically injured, this was all allowed to happen. It's messed up. It's wrong. I don't get it. We need to be asking these questions right now. So yes, Mike Johnson, you did the right thing. We need that J13 committee. Interesting. Interesting use of the J thing, right? We need that committee. I want to, you know what? We're going to play it again. Can we play it again? Just a little bit of it. Corey Mills, let's listen to what the representative is saying. Just listen with all your ears glued to this, because he's a former sniper shooter himself. He knows how this is done. He's now part of the Armed Services Committee. He's a former Army sniper. Let's watch Representative Mills.
I've done thousands of advances. I've done thousands of counter sniper operations with our teams in Iraq and Afghanistan, etc. The amount of negligence, the amount of mistakes that was made here, I have a very difficult time not leaning myself towards this was intentional as opposed to fecklessness.
But wait, talk to me about that. I actually heard you say this right the day after, which I wanted to ask you about. What do you mean intentional?
You know,
I mean an intentional failure on the part of...
No, I wouldn't say an intentional failure on the part of, but I got to just, I sit here and I scratch my head. You don't want to be the conspiracist. You don't want to be the person.
I'm telling you, because that's what it's leaning toward.
No, I know. And that's the issue, is that you walk this fine balance of, you're not trying to be a conspiracist, but you look at it and you go, how could this have gone so...
But it's one thing if someone on the street says it. It's not. I mean, you, Corey Mills, member of Congress, former sniper, you saying it. I mean, it makes my eyebrows go up. When you say you're walking the line on this, intentional what?
You know, it almost seems to me, and I think that an investigation is necessary at this point within Congress, not just the FBI, not just others. You know, I look back at it and I'm thinking, all right, for an individual, if you looked at the escalations and how they had tried to approach him, let's just say that it was like, okay, first we want to censor and silence you, then we want to indict and imprison you. Now we're attempting to kill you and take you off the stage.
Whoa. You, let's slow down.
Please.
I'm hearing two things.
She's doing a good job.
I don't want to jump ahead of things, but I'm also hearing you jumping ahead of things.
Well, actually, I'm just looking at all the different possible capabilities. You know, one of the things as a military member, one of the things as a person who's running the special operations communities before, one of the people who's actually done this is that you look at all potential analysis, right?
Donald Trump and his team have said, do not,
no, I agree.
Dial it back. Do not blame this on Joe Biden.
Oh, well, actually, I didn't say Joe Biden, to be completely
Who's the
clear.
they then? Let's be very specific.
Well, that's what the investigation has to do. Was it local law enforcement that had made the mistakes, or was there something to it? Was there other types of things that we need to be analyzing or looking at and providing analysis? My point is that when something's so significant, you're talking about something that hasn't happened in decades, right?
I totally...
But my point is this. From a perspective of someone who's actually conducted these are not difficult advances. This is not like I'm putting together a stage placement and a tight shot. This is about looking at your surroundings. What is my green, yellow, and red route, which is your routes out in case? What is my actual elements that I need to be looking looking at as far as mitigating threats or risks or increased levels? Where's my range fan for the sniper that says, okay, here's my 100, my 200, my sketch. Here's an area where someone could shoot. Because here's my thing.
So you're
Let's
saying,
just say it's a Royce element.
You are saying this is so basic that how big the screw up was, that's what's leading your brain down this road?
That's exactly right. In a way.
Unbelievable. I mean, I don't have a ton of guests on this show, but we may reach out to Representative Mills because this is just very interesting, very compelling. And I think that we really, really need to know more. We absolutely need to know more. And I'm glad there's a J13 investigation that they're going to launch, but something was a spectacular failure. And I'd like to know. And so with peace of mind, thank you. I'm looking at your comments in real time and responding to some of them, just exactly who signed off on this entire security plan.